Okay, so in this video, I will try to share how Docker networking works. I won't take too much time. Okay, so let's start. So this is the article that I'm going to publish after recording this. So this containers are awesome. They're lightweight. They spins too fast, and I would like to share how that networking between containers works. So this is how I started actually. Like how these containers talk between them. Okay, and if I start two containers, then can I make them reach each other over a direct link? Okay. Let's start. Okay, so I have this FRR 8.1 build that I have already created in my machine. So let me show you. Docker. So I have it. Okay, now I will install it. So this is the command that I should use: docker run interactive mode, and then detached mode. The name of the container, give it R1, then attach a volume, this one, and then privileged mode. This is simple Docker stuff. So let's do this, and this is R2. Two Dockers I have created. Okay, now my Docker containers are up. Okay, now now let's see when this Docker is created by containers are created by Docker, then how this connectivity works. So if I show Docker PS, I see two container IDs. Okay, these two processes are running. Then let me show what is the IP networking inside this Docker. So this command is docker exec it. Then you put a name, either this one or the container ID you can put, and then IP ADDR. Okay, so here it has created a loopback interface and a ETH0 interface, and it has allocated a IP of 172.17.02. Now the question is from where this IP came from, and how this is connected, to where this interface is connected. So this is basically what happens, that when Docker creates a new container, it creates a with pair. With pair is, you can think of a pipe. So this Docker container is running on a particular namespace. So from this namespace to my host namespace. So I'm here, right? I'm within my host. So to that host namespace, there is a with pair. So if I see in my host namespace IPADDR. So see here the difference. Like here IPADDR command, I put it on the Docker inside the Docker container or this namespace. Okay, but here I am putting it on the host namespace. Okay, so here if I see there is one with pair. Okay, and there is one more with pair. So now I see two with pairs. Okay, let me try to grep it a bit further. Grep. Okay, now how do I know that which this with is going to where? Okay, so now we can see it. Let me take the first one also. So here if you see this 53, so here on the particular Docker R1, my local ID is 52, my remote ID is 53. So in my root namespace, my local is 53 and my remote is 52. So basically this interface with 81F, right? This is going to R1, and 193.02 is going to R2. This is how you need to read the with pairs. Okay. Now this is what I have shown over here. No need to repeat again. And yeah, this is one more command, like so these with pairs are basically connected into a bridge. Okay, that is already created by Docker 0. So if you see brctl show, it will show you that this is a Docker bridge. This bridge is having two interfaces connected to it. One is going to R1 container, one is going to R2 container. Okay, now if you see this IPADDR Docker, assume, you can see there is a IP address given to this particular bridge. So from here, basically this .2 and .3 IP that this you must have got actually came. Okay, so now if you want from R1, you should be able to ping R2. Okay, 172.17 0.3 0.3. Okay, so you can ping. So reachability exists between. Let me also show you that R2 IP address so that it makes the circle proper. DDR. Yeah. So .3 is given to R3. Okay, and I have already told you how to read the with pairs. Okay. Now the second question is whenever these Docker containers are created, it creates a IP in new namespaces. So in networking world, I would like to relate the namespace as simple VRFs, okay, non-default VRFs. So IP net NS actually should show me that what are the namespaces it created, but I don't know why it don't show. So I was searching and I found this article which actually showed had some explanation. Do go through it. To get the namespaces, you need to create like this. Okay, I got the PIDs first, and then on this particular folder, these namespaces are actually kept. So I cleaned the directory, and I'm creating this symlinks on that particular folder. I'm creating the symlinks over this particular folder. Okay. So now if I see IP net NS, I'm seeing two namespaces. Fine. Cool. Now my second question, if you read from the top, that how I can create a connectivity between these two directly without going to the Docker interface. Okay. So now if I do it, so now I am creating a new with pair, and what I will do, one end is R12, one end is R21. I will put a 12 on R1 namespace and R21 on R2's namespace, and I will make them up. Okay, this is what I'm doing. So let's create these things. So I created the namespaces, the with pair, attached it to the namespaces, and add it to the namespace. Fine. Sorry, link set up means I'm doing make them up. Okay. Now if I go Docker ex Docker ps and I go to this Docker containers. Okay. Docker ex ec minus it r1 bash. Okay. IP ADDR if I show, so I got a new with pair attached to it. Okay, and this other end of the with pair will be attached to the R2 node. Okay, now if I configure this node, right, I have created some configuration. Let me pull it out so that we don't need too much time. Okay, so these are the two configurations, right? Now I will go back again. Docker exec minus it r1 bash vtysh. These are two Docker containers are FR routing based, so that is why I'm using these commands. Now I need to paste it. Okay, so here if you see, I have given the name ETH1. Now I should change it. Okay, in my configuration file. So let me put a notepad. Here the name was, let me check what was the name, IP ADDR. No, this is inside the container. So IP interfaces maybe. Okay, let me get out. Okay, ETH R12. Okay, ETH R12. So this is R1's configuration. Commit is not there. Fine. I will take a duplicate over this one. Sudo message Docker exec minus rt r2 bash vtysh, okay, and conft hostname r2, okay. Now I will copy the similar thing but in a reverse direction, right? So I will change this IPs to 2.2.2, this to 2.2.2, this to 2, and R21. Okay, this is the interface it created over here. Okay. Show IP USPF neighbor. If I'm lucky, it should come up. Okay, let's see, why not? Show IP interfaces. Yes, interfaces are okay. Yeah, it came up. Okay, now show IP route. I can see on R2, R2, two's loopbacks are showing, but not one's loopbacks. Yeah, it is showing now. Now I can ping from here. Okay, so this is how basically container, I connected both the containers back to back. Okay, like using a with pair. So this is what it I have tried to write over this example. And here in this example, my OSPF is running on ETH0 also. That is why it is having that OSPF neighborship attached over this. But in my current configuration, I did not do that. But now let me stop the containers. But okay, now I'm done. Now next thing is that these are good. This is good for understanding, but suppose you need a 10 router topology or something bigger, then how you can do it, right? So there basically comes the automation stuff that Roman has built with his team for and in a named container lab. So you can look at this container lab in Google and try to bring something. So for this demo purpose, I have built something. Okay, CLab FRR. Okay, no, not CLab here. Let me show you. So basically, after installing this container lab, right, you need a YAML file. Okay, so this YAML file will say that what is the name of your topology, what are the nodes R1, R2, and what is the interface you need R1 to R2, right? And this binding is basically, it is showing, it is like I have already kept the configuration under this folder. So I want to load that configuration whenever these containers come up. Okay, you don't need to use the binds always. You can use it without the binds also, but it's a means it will save you time after, like your configuration will always be uploaded whenever you want. Okay, so now to save this lab, so you need to be on the same folder where this clab.yaml file is there, and you need to be in sudo. So I am already there. Sudo clab deploy is the command. It will deploy this particular FRR. Okay, so now what it will show that it has created two containers R1, R2. It has given them the names. Okay, these are DNS qualified names. If you here the SSH don't work, but if you use other containers, it will work. Now you can go to this Docker container. If you see IPNetNS, right, it will create those things also for you. Okay, it is showing now to go there. So Docker exec -it, and this is the name of the container, bash vtysh. Okay, show run. So the same configuration that I created, right? It was loaded because I have kept them under that folder. Show IP OSPF neighbor. It is up. Okay, so I wanted to show up to here. Okay, and then if you need the there a CLab is having some more commands, like let me show you. Like deploy is the command that we used, destroy is the command to destroy the lab, and then graph is the command to have a visual topology how the connection is, inspect is to get the lab details, save is like container configuration can also save, but I don't know why for FRR it don't work. but yeah, you can try. So now if I do CLab inspect, right, I can still get the names of those things. And if I delete it, right, CLab destroy. Okay, so the lab is now destroyed. Docker PS should not show anything. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share. Okay, and now you can think of, like, if you need a 10 router topology, then you can build the same YAML file in that fashion. And there are some good links also over here, like you can use these lab examples of FRR1. Like here, apart from the configuration, the daemon set is also binded. As I have used a custom made FRR version, so I did not loaded the daemon set. The daemon set was already loaded on that particular Docker image. But here, it is a good thing that you can load your daemon set after you clone from the Docker pull. Okay, and lastly, why the name of the article is default route to container lab? Because I'm a heavy user now of this lab, and I really like it. You have many extra functionalities, like you can capture also using some Vasha commands or Shah commands. So those are cool things actually, and these are very lightweight. So it need really very less resources on your laptop. Yeah, thank you. Bye.